Hello all and welcome to ISTQB Foundation level Tips and Tricks, Session 2. In the first session we began to discuss tips and tricks how to find the correct answer during the exam, and already discussed 3 tips. In this session we'll look at them in more detail. At the end of all sessions we will get an algorithm which help you to find correct answer more quickly. Today we look at 2 more tips and tricks that were already mentioned in the first session. Let's start with a repetition. Tip 1. Read the question carefully. So we started with a simple tip, but sometimes one word in the stem or in the question can help you to find the correct answer or completely change the meaning of the question, and hence the correct answer. So, tip 2. Match the question with the corresponding learning objective. If you know what learning objective the question is related with, it will be easier to answer the question because you will know the question author's intentions. It doesn't mean that you must learn syllabus by heart, but it will be good if you know name of learning objective in each module. Tip 3. Pay attention to the keywords. These words and phrases like glossary terms as the cell names, keyword-specific formulations, etc. are usually very important indicators for the correct answer. For example, if the question says that in your project there is a high time pressure, the documentation is poor, and the testers are experienced, this clearly indicates that the preferable test strategy is the exploratory testing. So now let's look at the example. Assume you are testing an online savings bank application. It has the modulus of fund transfer also. To transfer the money, you need to have sufficient balance in the savings account. During test design, you have identified a discrepancy between the saving account and the money transfer validation procedures in the requirement specification and the design specification. This activity is an example of what? A defect for requirement specification, B. A defect for code specification, C. Under test design static test technique, D. Starting test design too early in the project. In this question, we have some keywords, and these are test design, discrepancy, requirement specification, test design specification, activity. Now let's start to analyze our question. First, match the question with the corresponding learning objective. So, look at the syllabus section 1.4.2 test activities and tasks. As with the test analysis, test design may also result in the identification of similar types of defects in the test basis. Also, as with test analysis, the identification of defects during test design is an important potential benefit. Now look at test analysis. The identification of defects during test analysis is an important potential benefit, especially where no other review process is being used and or the test process is closely connected with the review process. Such test analysis activities not only verify whether the requirements are consistent, properly expressed and complete, but also validate whether the requirements properly capture customer, user, and other stakeholders' needs. So, during test design activity, we need to consider the requirement specification and also design specification to understand the system functionality or behavior to write the test specification or our tests. During this stage, review need to happen between the documents. The review comes under static testing technique, hence the correct answer is C. So, if you do not remember the syllabus by heart, so keywords can help you to find the answer. These are test design, discrepancy, requirement specification, design specification, activity. Pay attention that we are looking for activity because our question is about activity and not about the result. Any activity is describing in answer C and D. After all, we are working with a specification, with a requirement specification and the design specification, and found discrepancy. That means we compared two documents and found an error. This is a clear reference to a review process. The review comes under static technique, hence the correct answer is C. Exclusion methods. A and B are not correct because the question is about activity or action. In A and B, we don't have any action or any activity, but we have the result, a defect that already exists in documentation. D is not correct because we are already on test design. That means a test design has already started. So again, as we see, we have correct answer C. And now to our algorithm. As you can see, it's not completely filled yet, but during our sessions, we will fill it out and eventually we'll get a ready-made algorithm that help you to find the answer more quickly. So it's all for today. Thank you for attention and see you at next session. For more questions, you can see my Instagram.